team take the field for practice, how do you think they look heading into the first week of competition?
We'll be ready. We started right at January 10th. Luckily, the weather's cooperated with us, but we'll definitely be ready. Our only challenge will be gelling as a team in a high-pressure situation. We have 18 new faces on the team this year, so that's a challenge always. But we'll deal with that in the first quarter of the first game and move on. So I think that's our only worry is just gelling, but we'll be fine.
Are there any major differences between this year's team compared to last year's?
All the new faces, 16 freshmen and 2 transfers on the roster this year, so that's a huge difference. I mean, it's almost half the roster. But the guys are getting along well, and we pushed them the first 2 weeks of practice hard, so they had to pick each other up, and that definitely helped them gel even quicker. So that is a huge difference from last year.
What would you say your strengths are this season, and which areas you would identify as areas of improvement?
A big strength for us, I think, is offense. We returned almost all of our starters offensively, and gained a couple strong transfers offensively as well. An area of improvement, is definitely our offense. 2 seasons ago, we had the #2 scoring offense in D2. Last year, we struggled putting the ball in the back of the net, but we're definitely going to be improved offensively. Defensively, we had 2 freshmen starting at base defense last year, so they're returning with a lot of skill they bring to the table, and they got some experience last year. So defensively, I think is going to improve as well as returning a senior goalie and a redshirt freshman and a true freshman who are pushing to start as well.
Are there any first-year players that the fans should watch for?
Connor Eskridge and Kevin Eskridge. Connor Eskridge is a freshman from here in St. Louis. Kevin Eskridge's older brother transferred to us from Mars Hill, another D2 school, and right now those two are pushing for starting spots at attack together. They play well together. Nick Zumbrum, a freshman out of Pennsylvania, just a big, strong, downhill dodging midfielder who's going to get some time just because of how he dodges. I mean, the kid can get to the cage. And then Lane Rommel, transfer from Marquette. He's another new face. I think he's going to do some big things for us.
Who do you think will be a sleeper team in the conference this season?
I got to say us. The past couple of years we finished 5th in the conference, just missing the conference tournament. Obviously we always think we can get there, and this year is no different. But I also think Wheeling has a chance to push for the title with the year they had last year. So I think they would be one that everybody needs to fear about taking down the ECAC championship this year.
4 of the 8 teams in the league will qualify for the postseason tournament. What will your team need to do in order to be one of the final 4?
It's always the big games on our schedule are always Lake Erie, Wheeling, Mercyhurst, and Seton Hill. You got to beat one of those teams, possibly even 2. It kind of depends on how it shakes out. All those teams have the ability to beat each other, so we got to win 2 of those games to guarantee ourselves a spot in the ECAC tournament. But beating one of those is a start. We still haven't beat one of those 4 since we've been in the conference, so that's where we got to start.
Which game are you most looking forward to on the schedule this season?
Obviously, right now we're looking forward to the first game to see how everything goes. Then our first big conference game is away at Wheeling Jesuit, but I think the one we're most excited about, Mercyhurst at home. Saturday, 7 o'clock. A lot of Mercyhurst alumni are going to be here, and all the St. Louis area always likes when they come into town, a big team. So that Mercyhurst game, and then Seton Hill senior day or last game at home before the ECAC tournament. That's always a big one too.
Any other thoughts on how the team or the ECAC conference as a whole will fare in the 2015 season?
I think the conference is going to be strong. It's a strong conference. Everybody competes to be a national contender in that conference, and that's all you can ask for. I think that there's a good chance we make a push for at least 2 or 3 of the teams in the conference to go to take the South Region bids, like happened a couple of years ago. So it's definitely a conference to look out for.